Every story you hear on The Seven has more behind it. Details that my colleagues have learned through careful reporting and fact-checking. The Washington Post has published more than 100 scoops so far this year, stories exclusive to the Post. This is the kind of journalism you support when you become a subscriber. Right now, you can access all of the Post reporting with a great subscription deal. $2 every 4 weeks for your first year. And after that, it's just $12 every 4 weeks. You can cancel anytime. Please take a few minutes and go to washingtonpost.com/subscribe. That's washingtonpost.com/subscribe. Or you can also tap the link in our show notes. It's a limited time offer, so jump on it right away. Hit pause, get it done now. I'll be here. Did you do it? Good. Let's get to the news. People are getting surprise bills because of tariffs. Apple might owe you some money. And a sick baby's treatment made medical history. That's some of what we'll get to on The Seven from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Friday, May 16th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Number 1. President Donald Trump is wrapping up his Middle East tour today. Trump's visit has offered a window into an emerging, sometimes contradictory foreign policy. He has long taken a restrained approach to the use of military power, and he's complained about the cost of U.S. deployments around the world. But he also chose a decidedly martial backdrop for his final stop in Qatar yesterday. He spoke to troops at the largest U.S. military installation in the Middle East, and he touted America's military might.
As president, my priority is to end conflicts, not start them, but I will never hesitate to wield American power if it's necessary to defend the United States of America or our partners. And this is one of our great partners right here.
One place Trump didn't stop on his Middle East tour was Israel. And his recent deal-making with Arab nations has worried Israeli analysts. They fear Trump is sidelining Israel. And during Trump's travels this week, Israel ramped up its strikes on Gaza. According to Gaza's Civil Defense Force, Israeli strikes killed more than 100 people yesterday. Earlier in the week, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared that there was no way Israel would halt its war in Gaza. Number 2. People are receiving demands for extra fees to get their online orders. If you've ordered anything online recently, you might have got a shock in your final bill. Some shoppers have reported being surprised with new fees. They're appearing as President Trump's tariffs on Chinese goods hit U.S. consumers. It's not clear how widespread the issue is, but shoppers are saying that they have been getting notices from carrier companies like UPS and DHL. The notices say that they owe new fees long after their purchase was made. The notes from carrier companies don't typically identify tariffs as the culprit, but shoppers who looked into the fees discovered that tariffs were indeed the problem. Experts say these fees are unusual and probably a temporary problem. The bills may have happened when tariffs were new or changing, so they may disappear as Trump's trade policies begin to settle. But it's something to watch out for if you're buying foreign goods. Number 3. The Supreme Court appeared divided over judges' orders blocking Trump's policies. Justices yesterday grappled with whether to scale back nationwide injunctions that have blocked Trump's efforts to ban birthright citizenship. That's the right of anyone born on U.S. soil, other than the children of diplomats, to automatically become a U.S. citizen. Opponents of Trump's ban say it violates the Constitution. But the focus of the justices was not on the constitutionality of the ban, but rather on the nationwide orders that have blocked it. These kinds of injunctions have frustrated many of Trump's policies. That includes his efforts to dramatically shrink the size of the government workforce, halt federal spending, and end diversity programs. After more than 2 hours of oral arguments yesterday, it was unclear which way justices would land on the issue. But liberal Justice Sonia Sotomayor said yesterday that she believes Trump's order does violate multiple Supreme Court precedents.
So as far as I see it, this order violates 4 Supreme Court precedents.
Yeah,
and you are claiming that not just the Supreme Court, that both the Supreme Court and no lower court can stop an executive from universally from violating those holdings by this court.
The justices' ruling is expected by the end of June or early July. Their decision will have big implications for the power of the judiciary in America. Number 4. Cassie Ventura was cross-examined in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. On the 4th day of Combs' sex trafficking trial in New York, his former partner again took the stand. Over the previous 2 days, Ventura alleged that she was raped and abused by Combs. Yesterday, it was the defense's turn to question her. They attempted to cast Ventura as an active participant in a turbulent but consensual relationship. Combs has pleaded not guilty to 5 criminal counts. He's faced more than 70 sexual assault lawsuits. His trial is expected to last 2 months. The Post will continue to have live updates from the trial today. Find those later this morning on our website. Severe weather is bringing days of strong tornado threats to central states. That's our 5th story. After a relatively quiet start to peak tornado season this month, a stretch of daily severe thunderstorm risk is underway. Today, an area from Missouri and Arkansas to southern Ohio is at risk of tornadoes. By Sunday, the next significant storm system will affect the western plains. Further south, it's a different story. An early season heat dome is building over the Gulf of Mexico. It will bring a week of unusual heat and humidity to southern states from Texas to Florida. So, as always, keep a close eye on your forecast in the coming days, especially if you live in the path of possible tornadoes. You might be able to claim a piece of Apple's $95 million Siri settlement. That's number 6. In January, Apple settled a lawsuit about its Siri virtual assistant. The lawsuit argued that Siri can be accidentally activated and record people's conversations without their explicit consent. The lawsuit claimed that Apple then sent those recordings on to third parties. Apple denied wrongdoing in the initial settlement agreement, and it has since said that Siri data has never been sold to anyone for any purpose. But it's still paying out $95 million. You can claim some of that cash if you meet 2 criteria. The first is that you owned a Siri-enabled device between September 17, 2014 and December 31, 2024. The second is that you noticed Siri activating itself when you did not specifically intend to use it. If that applies to you, you have until July 2nd to file your claim. If you want to know how to do that, find a guide in today's newsletter. Follow the link in our show notes. And apologies if I just set off your Siri. And at number 7, a race to invent a drug for a sick baby made medical history. KJ Muldoon was born in August last year with a rare and severe genetic disorder known as CPS1 deficiency. Half of babies with this disorder don't survive past infancy. Those who do risk severe neurological issues. But luckily for KJ, a team at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and Penn Medicine had been doing practice runs focused on disorders like his. They wanted to know how quickly they could design a personalized medicine. When KJ was born, they decided to try it. And in just 6 months, they did it. They used a gene editing technology known as CRISPR that won a Nobel Prize in 2020. The technology offers hope for those with rare disorders that require highly specialized treatments, and it could represent the future of medicine. It's still very early days, but KJ is now nearly 10 months old. He's showing signs the treatment is benefiting him, and he's meeting developmental milestones his parents weren't sure he would ever reach. That's the show for this week. The associate producer of The Seven is Taylor White. The staff writers are me and Jamie Ross. John Taylor is our editor. Additional editing by Christina Quinn. Special help this week from Rennie Svirnovsky. Copy editing by Melissa No and Thomas Haliba. Mixing and sound design is by Jim Briggs and Justin Garish. Our theme music is by Edith Mudge. Renita Jablonski is our director of audio. I'm Hannah Jewell. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend. I'll meet you back here on Monday.
I'm Sally Jenkins, and I'm a sports columnist and feature writer for The Washington Post. My job entails pulling the curtain on really big sports events, at what is going on in locker rooms, what's going on in the stadium tunnel, most importantly, what's going on in the minds of the athletes that I cover. I think that we have an instinct that sports are really important in some primal way. We pay a lot of money for them. We build really big stadiums for them. And I think that athletics really gets us in touch with aspiration and teach something very, very important about accountability, about self-determination. And so my job is to really make those links explicit for readers and users. Subscriptions support this work and the people behind it. Find out more at subscribe.washingtonpost.com. I'm Sally Jenkins, and I'm one of the people behind The Post.